I got in my Diddy mode. I'm sorry, I started licking my lip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash gooshmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf. The smooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, shine. You know what I mean?
Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today we have a deep dive into a topic that has been making waves recently. The shocking revelations from actor and former Disney star Orlando Brown. In a candid interview, Brown exposed how his experiences with Diddy and Hollywood predators took a toll on his mental health. Stick around as we unpack the details and discuss the broader implications of his revelations. Before we dive into the specifics, let's provide some context. Orlando Brown, known for his roles in Disney's That's So Raven and The Proud Family, recently came forward to shed light on the darker side of Hollywood. In a series of interviews, he detailed how his encounters with Diddy and other figures in the industry had a profound impact on his mental well-being. But hey, here's the silver lining. Orlando seems to be turning things around lately. He recently went through a mental health assessment and shared that he's embracing a clean and sober lifestyle. Unfortunately, the lingering psychological impact from his days as a child star is still something he's working through. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Recent charges about Diddy's dealings have brought the spotlight back on Orlando. It turns out Orlando had some things to say about Diddy in the past, and now people are revisiting those remarks in light of the current allegations. Orlando spilled the beans in a recent chat with Cam Capone News, just days after Diddy settled the ESS and dealing claim with Cassie. This reignited the conversation about the alleged high-profile predator ring in Hollywood, targeting young and aspiring talents. It's a complex situation, with fans now taking a closer look at Orlando's past statements about Diddy. The industry has been under scrutiny, and these recent events only add more fuel to the fire. Orlando Brown has been talking about some shady stuff happening behind the scenes in the music and film biz. He's pointing fingers at Diddy, claiming there's this mysterious club of Hollywood bigwigs preying on youngsters. Sounds pretty wild, right? Before we get into Orlando's side of the story, let's talk about Sloan Bella, a celibate medium who's been making waves online. She actually predicted that Cassie would bring down Diddy, which is pretty interesting. Sloan's been dropping some bombshells, suggesting that Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, saw some messed up stuff involving kids at Diddy's gatherings. Apparently, she was planning to spill all the details in a book. Now, back to Orlando. He's been talking about this so-called club and how Diddy played a part in it. They even call it the panda eyes thing, whatever that means. Orlando's been vocal about the darker side of the industry and the alleged rituals that some big shots use to gain power. It's a lot to take in, right? Hollywood can be a real roller coaster, and these stories, although sounding a bit out there, add another layer to the craziness. Okay, let's break this down a bit. So, there's this lady, Sloan Bella, making some bold claims about what's happening in Hollywood. She's not talking about Diddy being gay. That's not the focus. She's digging into something deeper, calling it ceremonial sexual deviancy used by powerful people to gain control. It's heavy stuff, especially when she points out that it's not just about being gay. It's about exploiting and manipulating others. Now, she drops Justin Bieber's name into the mix. And we all know there's been some talk about Diddy's relationships with Justin and Usher. It's like a tangled web of speculation. And get this, Sloan's saying that she's aware of these alleged rituals happening, especially involving small kids, mostly boys. It paints a pretty grim picture of what might be going on behind the scenes in the entertainment world. Now, here's the interesting part. Orlando Brown, from That's So Raven, is being brought into the conversation. There's talk that he might have been a victim of these ceremonies, supposedly taking place in the secret corners of industry gatherings. It's like Hollywood has this hidden side, and the more you peel back the layers, the more unsettling it gets. It's a lot to process, right? Hollywood mysteries and dark secrets. Sounds like something out of a movie. All right, let's rewind a bit. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, Orlando Brown was like the golden boy of Disney. From 2001 to 2007, he was juggling not one, not two, but 3 Disney shows. The Proud Family, Phil of the Future, and of course, he was the man as Eddie Thomas on That's So Raven. I mean, who could forget Eddie's iconic lines? "I'm Eddie Thomas, and I've always dreamed of being in the big time. Well, child, I'm going to make your little dream come true." It's just that simple. Classic, right? Orlando was the face of Disney during that period, leaving a lasting impression on viewers. He was breaking records left and right with That's So Raven, becoming the first Disney series to hit a whopping 100 episodes. That's no small feat. Imagine the nostalgia fans falling head over heels for Eddie Thomas, dreaming of that big break with a side of coffee and a colossal donut. Those were the days. Orlando's journey through the Disney world was like a fairy tale for many of us. Now, let's fast forward a bit. As the cast of That's So Raven grew up, the high school vibes of the show didn't quite fit the bill anymore, so Disney decided to wrap it all up in November 2007. And here's where Orlando's story takes a bit of a turn. In the same year That's So Raven wrapped, he found himself in a bit of trouble down in Houston for some drug ownership issues. Unfortunately, that was just the beginning of Orlando's challenges. He tried to make a shift from acting to music, but his music career didn't quite take off as planned. Things got pretty rocky in 2011 when he got caught for a DUI in Hollywood, cruising around with his pregnant girlfriend. Talk about a rough patch. And if that wasn't enough, less than a year later, he got hit with another DUI. The courts weren't exactly thrilled with Orlando, maybe because he wasn't exactly sticking to the rules. An appointed authority wasn't too pleased and slapped him with a 180-day prison sentence. But wait, there's more.
I'll kill you, your mama, your daughter, and everyone.
In July 2014, there was this audio circulating where someone who sounded a lot like Orlando was apparently making threats to a lady and her family. Orlando's rep jumped in, saying it wasn't his voice, and that the lady was just a relentless stalker. Orlando then came out saying he was using substances to cope with some serious inner turmoil. It's a tough situation, and it's clear he was going through some rough times. Now let's fast forward a bit more. Despite all the hurdles, there was a point where it seemed like Orlando was turning a corner. He managed to snag a few small gigs in the midst of his battles. In 2015, he made a notable appearance in the hit Straight Outta Compton, and even had a supporting role in American Bad Boy alongside Cat Williams. It looked like he was getting back in the game. What's more, in 2015, he reunited with the That's So Raven crew, spreading good vibes and giving fans a glimmer of hope. It seemed like he was trying to make a comeback, bringing some humor and realness to the scene. The chemistry was on point, not just like talking to ourselves, but more like chatting with family. It was something pretty amazing. Life in Hollywood is a roller coaster, and Orlando's journey had its ups and downs. But hey, every comeback has its story, and Orlando was working towards making his. Unfortunately, life didn't exactly hand Orlando the comeback he was hoping for. His career struggled to find solid ground, and personal challenges kept haunting him. In February 2016, things took another rough turn. Following a public dispute with his better half, Orlando found himself dealing with accusations of domestic violence and unlawful substance possession. Fans couldn't help but feel for him. It was clear he was wrestling with some deep-seated issues that needed attention. After a stint in jail, Orlando's loved ones rallied behind him, pushing for an intervention and urging him to give recovery a shot. However, Orlando left the program after just a week. Shortly after, a video surfaced showing him barefoot, carrying a box of wine down the street, and getting into a heated exchange with a man whose house he had apparently walked into. Life can be tough, and Orlando's journey has been a challenging one. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel Celebrity For You for more content.